I'm MIL-SPEC Monkey, and you might be thinking, what? Who is this guy? Well, this is me in my outfit to try and look a little bit closer to like a normal person, and that's because today I wanted to show off the Maxpedition Entity 23 backpack. So the general idea on the whole series is where they take Maxpedition's good quality build, they use good materials, they think through on the end result functionality, but this time for the Entity series they use some fabrics and looks to just look very low-key and blend in with normal everyday folk instead of worrying about a super tactical man. But that said, they also keep in mind functionality for CCW access. So you blend in, but you don't lose all your features. You keep a great balance. So as a quick show off, here's kind of checking it out. As you can see, carry handle up top. Main compartment has an interesting magnetic helper feature. It's an ambi setup with accessory pouches on the side, water bottle slots. Secondary compartment is mostly set up for a laptop. Secondary pull handles on each side. Even have ports for, say, wired headphones. You can get creative with how you use that on the back. Nice mesh padding, a removable belt, and, as I was saying, that CCW compartment. So, showing it worn, it has the expected features of a sternum strap. Nicely adjustable up and down, should suit most people. As I was mentioning earlier, the belt, so when you have those heavy loads, not everybody will need it, but it's very nice that it's included. And we'll take a quick show on what it's like worn on the side. And it can cause a little confusion because I'm a small dude being monkey sized, but most would consider this a good medium sized backpack. As I was talking about earlier, the CCW functionality is worth showing. But keep in mind it's not meant to be a holster, so you just got to take your time. It's not something you want to be in a rush for. I've been playing with it. I take strong side out, flip it over, unzip the CCW slot, able to go in and come in, and I leave it up here, so I'm still able to get to my mag pouches. So using the universal pistol wrap and the dual mag wrap, it's pretty cool that Maxpedition kind of already offers everything you need to get down to self-defense business. When you need to pack back up, again, you want to take it slow. You may not be able to do the no-look. You gotta feel around, get back in there, try and go in reverse, and get back to it. While here, also worth noting the side pouch. When I first saw them, I was confused why they were reversed. So when you're here, they're actually quite handy because now they're facing me. So it's weird when you have the backpack just laying there, it's like, these are reversed. But now, since it's actually worn, this would be an example of how one would get to these side pockets. Getting down to the floor, so easier to show off the small details. The hydration pockets are a pretty good size for 0.75 liter bottles. They'll fit in nice and easy. They will fit the 1 liter size. It just gets a little snug and starts to push internally into the pack. While here, might as well show off those side pockets I was talking about. So single zipper out. The interior is decently spacious. Single zippered mesh pocket here. Large sleeve, and then some smaller sleeves, pins, and similar sized items. The laptop compartment opens up with dual zippers. They just happen to be lockable, like the main compartment. Inside is very simple and padded. It's not really meant to be a hydration compartment. They assume for this pack design that you're just going to use your hydration bottles. The sizing, though, is pretty good for, say, even this old crusty Dell. It's about 14.75 by 10.5, I believe, by 1 inch. And maxes out pretty good, so that's about, wouldn't want to go too much bigger than that. Fits in there nicely. For some back details, if one wanted to remove the belt, they sneak in through here, which is actually a nice little sleeve for if you wanted to put on roller bags to make it a little easier to carry. You can also just generally get creative with a sleeve like this. Back on track though, the belt has some hook and loop connection around here, and remove, you just break that connection and keep routing out until it's completely out. And of course you can always put it back later if you decide to. The CCW compartment is a little harder to show. Opens single zipper this way, and hopefully you can see it a little bit. Each side has the loop, and you'll just kind of have to play with it, decide which side you want which. For me, I liked the pistol on this side and trying now the mags on the other side. As a little bonus, on the other side, they include this security strip. Now the zipper is probably good enough, but just in case, you have this extra hook and loop for the side you're most likely not going to open from. Just to make sure stuff doesn't spill out when you're doing some pretty heavy movement. Getting into the main compartment, opens up with dual zippers. Worth noting, some pretty cool big zipper pulls, they're fun. It is a critique though, it's not the smoothest. Usually I'll just get it started a little bit and then pull it out. And then here you can see is the stopping point with these cool hooky things. And you can just have them slide in as seen, or you can click them in where they're a little more stable, they're less likely to pop out. So this is also worth noting that this is a good stopping point. Most people, this will be about the size they want to open, access to get whatever they need. So you need to open bigger, you would just pop out your hooks, and then keep going. To get your full access. When going back, this is also an easy way to show off the magnets. It's pretty cool. Say, however, if those don't do it for you or they get in the way of your flow, you can just sneak them in here. But I think most people will appreciate them. On the internals, nice simple layout. You've got a deep sleeve, double zippered mesh pockets, using this fancy Maxpedition mesh where it's a good balance where you don't get poked through, but you can get to see what's actually in there a little bit. And then on the sides is a pretty good size for water bottle stuff. You can do your .75s again, so you can kind of decide if you want them internally or externally. You can even ram in the 1 liter, but then it's really pushing against the sides. It'll start to, so you gotta kind of pick whether you want it internally or externally. It would be a very tight fit if you tried to do both. On the other side, it makes for an interesting shape, just kind of due to how the main compartment opens. Up top, you got a sleeve pocket. It's not too deep, which makes sense. And they sneak in a keeper there, which is pretty appropriate. This whole panel here is loop, so you can put in some hook and loop series, which Entity just happens to have. Here'd be an example of their utility panel. And it's a good size where you can get a medium flashlight in either of these pockets. You may not necessarily be able to put the strap over that one, but it is a good size for, say, like a multi-tool sized item. And it's generous sized sleeve pocket back here where you can get, say, to a mag size. Another in the series is the low profile panel, which is just a remix, hence the name, a little bit less bulky. Here's a depth idea on the first sleeve. Got some elastic, which is a pretty good size for versatility. Another shorter sleeve, and then a billowed mesh down here. So pretty good use of the space, even though it's kind of an interesting shape. On the subject of add-ons, the Entity series also has an external utility pouch series. Shown here is the small and the large. The small is pretty good size for your multi-tool size or microphones. You can make a medium flashlight work. Cutting it close, but it can happen. And nice that it matches about the same width as the shoulder strap. They've got some other sizes, so large, this is about what you need to hold a modern size phone, say a recent gen iPhone or a nice Samsung. I left it off so you can check out how the attachment works. So it's the PAL system, say if you wanted to add other pouches, but the Entity series has this nice matching look. So on the back, we can show off the tack ties. If you aren't familiar, the tack ties actually had an older name. Not sure why they kept the same ones. Frankly, the older ones were kind of pretty lame, but these are cool. This latest gen, you got the PJC3 and the PJC5 to kind of refer to how big they are, with 3-inch and 5-inch zones. Pretty similar to, say, mouse clip small and mouse clip large. Very similar concepts. They have a nice tool-free opening, so you can slide them in, and they have 2 points of locking, like so. When you want to pop it out, usually easiest for me is pushing down here and pulling up here. And then you just slide it on through. So as a mounting example, the big one is a bit of a variable where you have a little bit more control since you can put it here, or one could change it up and have it come out here if they wanted to, as a mounting example. So just going with the flow here, you would start one of those two positions, and this is the only place you can put it as far as shoulder strap goes. You can put it on other sides of other packs, but staying on target, you would set it up here, then you start the weaving process. So you go here, then to the next slot, pushing through. Got to keep it tight so you don't run out of slack. Continuing the weave to the next platform slot. And then in this case you can complete it. No more slots to weave. So you want to push it in. And it's okay to be aggressive with it. The tack tie will hold up. So pushing in, and then you keep going. Trying to do it slow and so you can see. For your final gripping point, keep pushing until you get your full lock, as seen in both places, here and here. Once on, with a full weave, it's nice and tight. You don't have a lot of flappity slop. And there's a good variety of pouches. So it's not just the small and the large. Check out, if you're interested in a utility add-on, check out the whole Entity series. So as a wrap-up, Entity 23 is a pretty great balance. We're starting with the low-key look, then make sure and still keep as much functionality as possible using great materials, all the important stuff of starting with a solid backpack. Pretty much the only thing you lose is, say, like your loop Velcro on the outside and the PAL's webbing for attachments, which would give a more tactical, high-profile look. That's about all you lose, but that means you can't add pouches. I think they find a good balance for most people. You'll have everything you need already built into the pack. Now, the whole Entity backpack series is pretty similar, so say if you need a little bit bigger, there's the 27, and then it goes all the way down to the 16, which is more like a single sling style pack. Definitely worth checking it out if you like what you see so far. Thanks for watching.